All right, everybody worldwide, you're now tuned into Motivation and Confidence, where we help you do your daily best. And I'm your host, Tom Danger. And this week, we have a special guest. We have Jaeden Schafer, who is the CEO of the app called Self Pause. Tell us where you're from and what got you into the tech space, and how did you come up with the concept for this app? What's your goal? Like, what is the long-term goal of this particular project?
I'm originally from Canada, but my wife and I, we're currently living in Mesa, Arizona.
Okay.
That's where, her family's from. And so, yeah, we had this idea. I studied marketing in college, and business management and stuff. And my wife, she was a computer science, she was her major. So she kind of always had a mind for creating apps and tech and that kind of thing. And that never was something that was really big on my radar. And so it was definitely really interesting. We kind of got into this business, right? So Self Pause, it's an app for helping you meditate to your positive affirmations.
Mm-hmm.
And so we got into this a while ago, back when we were both in college. My wife, she was pregnant with our first child, and she asked me if she could buy these like affirmation tracks online. And like, growing up, I always believed in positive thinking, goal setting, all that kind of stuff was like really big for me, but I had never really done much meditation or anything like that. And so when she asked, they were really expensive. She wanted to buy them online, and they were just a bunch of MP3 files. And so she was, asking me if she could buy them, but she's pregnant. And when your wife is pregnant for something, like, you don't say no.
That's right.
So I was like, of course. So she got them, and it really did blow me away how much her listening to these MP3 files helped her. And, it was literally on her phone. They were just downloaded in one of her like folders, and she just play them. And of course, playing MP3 files off your phone is not super intuitive or anything. And when I saw how much those helped her, though, like have confidence in herself, know she could do what she was struggling with at the time, I was like, this is probably something that would help other people. And so I actually started recording my own voice and creating positive affirmation meditations and putting them on Spotify. At first I was just like, oh, I'll just make a couple for fun and throw them out there, see what happens. And after I started doing that, I started getting a lot of streams on my content. And we both talked, mostly it was her idea. And she was like, we need to make this into an app, something that's more, whether it's like an Spotify or YouTube or something, it's not very customizable. So like with an app, we could do custom voices and custom background sounds, and you could create your own affirmations and record yourself. So like you could take it so much further. And so that's kind of when we started taking the app into like that.
One second, you froze. So question for you. Explain to the people who are not clear on what an affirmation is and how an affirmation is different from meditating, and give us an example of an affirmation that you use on a daily basis. I know that's a lot, but.
Yeah. So an affirmation is a positive statement you say to yourself. There's a lot of positive psychology and science that kind of backs up how affirmations work. But an example of one that personally I use, and everyone can use different ones, but personally I say to myself a lot, I'm happy, I'm healthy, and I feel great. If I feel like I'm coming down with a cold, if I feel like, things are hard at work, if I feel like, something is difficult, I say those to myself, and it helps remind me, right? Like it's not like I'm like lying or brainwashing myself.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe brainwashing myself, but in a way that I want. But saying like I'm happy, I'm healthy, and I feel great, I'm reminding myself like, something might be hard or something might be difficult, but at the end of the day, like my life is good. I do have good health. I have a lot of things to be grateful for. And so it helps me to reflect on those things that I've decided are true. And so that's kind of how affirmations work. They're positive statements. But what's important about affirmations, and if you're looking at psychology and them working, you have to believe those things. Mm-hmm. So if you really don't believe that you're happy or that you can be happy, saying that might not be effective for you. So when you create affirmations, it's a pretty personal experience. But think of beliefs you hold to be true about yourself, things you believe you're good at, or things that you believe can happen, good things that can happen to you, and saying them to yourself will help reinforce them. So I guess the way that affirmations and meditation are different, a lot of people, like if you're talking about business people or motivational coaches and stuff, they'll say affirmations to themselves in the morning in the mirror, right? They'll be like, I am an amazing business person. I always close sales. I'm a go-getter, right? Those could be their affirmations they say in the morning. And that is effective and that's useful. What's interesting is when you pair it with meditation, it can go a little bit deeper. And so the way we do affirmations, it's almost like, if you're meditating a lot of the time, it helps you to relax, de-stress, lose anxiety. Research has shown this. So very powerful stuff. However, we believe that you can go a step further from just passive meditation because a lot of times, like let's say you're really stressed, what is the root cause of your stress? Are you having difficulties in a relationship? Are you having difficulties financially? There's like root causes. And so just meditating and it just saying like, relax your mind and just kind of let go, that can help you in the moment to lower your stress level, which is good, but it may not solve the long-term problem of like, let's say you have some sort of financial difficulty or you have a difficulty in a relationship. So affirmations are different in that when you meditate to affirmations, you're meditating and they're helping you, you pick an area of your life that you like help with.
Mm-hmm.
And as you meditate to those affirmations, you can improve your life in that area and you're kind of getting at the root cause of whatever your stress or anxiety is. So I like to think of it as like meditation is a little bit more passive, affirmations is a little bit more active. And it does require, like brain work a lot of the time. You're thinking about your affirmations. So like, let's say it was relationships or something that was a struggle. You'd say affirmations like, I am or I have a great partner that listens to me, or I am a great partner that listens to my spouse. And beyond just saying or hearing that, then you're thinking, oh, you know what? I really should be listening to my spouse more. Or if it was like, I'm a partner that takes into consideration the feelings of my spouse, right? Then you're thinking like, oh, you know what? Maybe I haven't been doing that. Maybe I should be doing that. So so when you pair affirmations with meditation, beyond just calming yourself, it also can remind you of ways to improve your relationships, improve your finances, and try to, get at the root cause of whatever might be causing you difficulty.
Got you. So what would be one affirmation, and it could be many, that you actually see come into fruition where you were going through something and you said this affirmation? Like, how long did it take for you to actually see the result or see the change?
For me, like starting this business and being a business owner and stuff, it has been a long journey, but I'll tell you something that was very, very powerful that I did recently. It's called the 3-6-9 method with affirmations. And essentially you choose 3 affirmations, you say them 6 times a day, and you think of them for 9 seconds. So what this looks like, and if you look online, like some people claim that Nikola Tesla invented this method. I actually haven't been able to verify that that's
Right, no
true.
problem. Yeah.
But regardless, it's it's a powerful method that worked really well. So I'll tell you the affirmations and what I used them for recently, and I saw some very quick results. And I can guarantee anyone that has like a goal they would like to achieve or something they would like to accomplish using this method with affirmations, whether some people say like you manifested it into existence or you thought about these goals so many times a day for so much time, so you like took action and made it happen, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Is what some people debate about, but it definitely works. So mine was, we're getting ready to launch the second version of our app, and there was a whole bunch of issues with development with our developers. There was bugs on the app and there's stuff like that. We're struggling with it for a few months, and we're so close, but we weren't quite able to launch it yet. And so I put an affirmation on my phone that, our app is completely fixed and ready and works. And we also had a dream of going and spending a couple months in Hawaii, but with everything being crazy, we weren't sure if it was going to happen. So I also put an affirmation on my phone that is, I didn't say how we were going to get there, how we were going to have the money, how we were going to do. I just said, my family is happy in Hawaii and my family is happy. I think those are my 3 my three things. And I would really visualize, like, what does it look like for my family to be happy living in Hawaii and my app to be completely done. And I was literally visualizing myself and my family happy on the beach, and I was holding my phone and I was looking at the app completely finished, listening to an affirmation. So that was like the image that I just gave myself. So I've set a notification reminder on my phone, and this is actually something we've incorporated into the app. So you can now put notification reminders on your in the Self Pause app to remind you of your affirmations throughout the day. So that's a good tool that kind of came out of this too. But I literally had a notification that would pop up 6 times a day saying those 3 things. And every single time I saw those things, leading up about a month before we end up leaving, going to Hawaii, getting the app fixed, and my family being completely happy there, leading up to that, 6 times a day that would pop up on my phone. I think I had the first one go off at 6 a.m., 6, 3, whatever, 6 times a day. And I would visualize what that would look like. And after I'd do that for 9 seconds. And after I was done visualizing exactly what my life would look like in those situations, I'd like sit there and think to myself, okay, like what's one step I can do right now for each of those goals? And, eventually I wrote down a list, like, before we go to Hawaii, we need to rent our house out on Airbnb. We need to do this, before our app is completely done, I need to quit my job, work on my app full time. And so every time that would happen, I would think, okay, what is something I can do right now? Sometimes I'd look at the list. Sometimes I'd think, I just like get up off my chair. I would go and, I would like create the Airbnb profile listing, or I would go and like clean this bedroom of my house, or I would go buy another bed for another bedroom of my house so I could put it on Airbnb. All the little steps that, I created for myself to be, happy in Hawaii with my app completely done, I did. And within 1 month, actually, I think it was maybe within a couple weeks, we kind of fixed that goal and we made it happen. The whole family flew to Hawaii. We got the app completely finished. We have an amazing team working on it now, an amazing development team that kind of came out of that whole process. And it was all just from like focusing 6 times a day on these 3 affirmations, these 3 goals that we had. And yeah, it was amazing. It worked really well.
So tell us about, because on the podcast, we talk about and we encourage entrepreneurs and taking the leap. Tell us about what that transition was like, going from being employed, from being the employee to the employer, and how you came over that, that feeling of uncertainty.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of like good feelings and difficult parts to it, but it was amazing. It was something, we've been working on the app for a couple of years. And I knew that, this is like what I wanted to work on full time, but it's hard to justify quitting like a good paying job to, pursue your whatever. And a lot of people were telling me like, you're not allowed to start doing your side hustle until it makes as much money as your job and like all this kind of stuff. And there just came to a point where I was like, you know what? I feel like if I'm working on something I'm passionate about and I'm happy, I'm willing to take a pay cut, was the first thing. And I know that, this is something I'll grow with. I'll make more money in the long term, but I just knew my idea wasn't going to happen unless I was going full time on it. So yeah, it was difficult. It was a little scary to make that leap, but since going there, it has been amazing. It's been an amazing experience being able to wake up in the morning. I get to work on my stuff all day, set my own schedule, and just kind of have that autonomy with my schedule and everything I'm doing. I get to work on things I'm passionate about. So that is exciting, but it did take planning. We had to figure out how we're going to do insurance and, make sure we had like the basic mortgage payments, and we had some savings, and we had some things we had to, work out and figure out. But I do believe anyone can plan for those things, can make those things happen. And even if it meant, maybe quitting your job and doing something more part-time so you could give more time to your business, I do believe that that's the way to really grow a business, is you do have to put your time into it.
So tell us about that exact moment when you come into your supervisor and you say, I'm giving notice. What was that conversation like?
Yeah, it was kind of funny because I think my manager at the time, I can't remember, she might have been in a meeting or something else. And so I knew I wanted to, my 2 weeks, I wanted to put my 2 weeks in. And I wanted it to be pretty much, I told her like, I think a little bit before, like I wanted to go to Hawaii, and she was like, okay, well, maybe we could figure something out where you could work remote or something. And then I was thinking about it. I'm like, no, like if I want to do this, and I want to enjoy Hawaii and not be working for this company the whole time we're in Hawaii, because we went for 2 months.
Right.
I was like, we have to like quit on this day. So anyways, I emailed her, but she didn't respond. And I think I messaged her on Teams, and she like hadn't responded. So then I just went straight to the HR director at our company and just told her like, okay, I'm quitting my job and stuff. And yeah, I think she was surprised. She called me right away and was like, so like, what's going on? Like thinking I was quitting in protest or something. And I was like, no,
Right.
like I love the company. You guys are super nice, whatever. Just this is, I'm going to start my own thing and stuff. And so I think they may have been surprised, but it all worked out. So, yeah.
Did they try to make a counteroffer to get you to stay?
They didn't, no. And, it had been interesting because leading up to this, while development of that was happening, I dabbled in a couple other little side hustles. My wife and I did some furniture flipping, some other things. And kind of as a side project, we were actually making YouTube videos and posting them. And while I worked at the company, I did marketing and I managed their LinkedIn profile and stuff. And on my personal LinkedIn, I had posted some videos of like how I made $1,000 flipping furniture in a week or something, because we were trying to build up that, like a rainy day fund or whatever before I quit my job. And I remember one day my boss actually called me and she's like, hey, so some people in the upper management of the company have noticed that you've been posting a bunch of videos on LinkedIn about like furniture flipping and like other, side hustles and stuff. And, they're just not sure how they feel about it because, you also post in like our company groups, and we're worried that if someone clicks back on you on your profile, they're going to see like stuff you're working on. And I was like, okay, well, first off, it's my own personal social media. I can do whatever I want with it. If I choose to not post anymore, that's because I'm doing it, not because you're calling to tell me about that.
Right.
Yeah, it was an interesting conversation. So I think that, but all that to say, leading up to, quitting, I think they could see I was leaning in a direction more of doing my own business and kind of doing my own thing.
Got you. So tell us about the app and how it works and what makes it different from other apps that are out there in the market.
Yeah. So, of course, there's massive in the meditation space. There's the massive behemoths. There's Headspace and Calm. Both have over $1 billion valuations. And so we really feel like we're addressing a unique market. There is no app that has a library of affirmation meditations. And so we think, Calm and Headspace, they're doing a great job helping alleviate anxiety. But kind of what I was talking about earlier, there's so much research. There's so much neuroscience and psychology around the power of affirmations and the power of saying positive statements to yourself. And so we believe that, if there really is no one that's creating a product where you can meditate to affirmations and like thereby help, give your life a boost in literally any area, this is something that's, really needed. And we've seen that too. We've seen some amazing feedback from people who have used it. We have, affirmations for entrepreneurs. We have affirmations for business. We have affirmations for sales, career affirmations and every other area. But people really, really resonate with being able to listen to our affirmation categories. And also they can go on the app, write down their own affirmations, record them, and then they can listen to them as like a playlist of their own affirmations. They can put music or nature sounds in the background. So people really resonate with it being a little bit more of an active meditation, and B, like being able to meditate to themselves and their own goals, right? You're not on Calm listening to LeBron tell you, that this is how you can have more headspace or wisdom or whatever. This is you're finding the power of yourself and you're saying, I can do this. I will achieve this goal. And that's something that's very, very powerful when you personalize it like that.
Got you. So in your opinion, with all of the tools that we have out there that will help us reinforce positive thinking, why do you think that there is such an overwhelming amount of people who still consume themselves in negative thoughts?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think that the system around us as a whole perhaps profits from people feeling negative. Like, let's just take entrepreneurship, for example. Major corporations don't want everyone in the world to be an entrepreneur, right? Because then they wouldn't have, employees.
Yeah.
So I do think that there's a lot of things systematically set up that news, for example, is pretty overwhelmingly skewed negative, and a lot of just different organizations. So I do think that perhaps there's an incentive and a bias for people to produce negative content, and if you're not aware of it, it's easy to buy into it and be negative about a lot of things in life, perhaps pessimistic. And maybe it also comes down to a certain level of just people not being educated on how powerful their thoughts are, and maybe not understanding how detrimental negative thinking is. Because positive affirmations have there's a lot of research behind how much those can help you progress and feel better and like literally improve your life. But I think people don't understand how there's the exact opposite effect too. The same is true with negative thoughts. You can actually downgrade the quality of your life by focusing on the negative too much.
Got you. So what's the price point of the actual app?
Pardon me?
The price point. How much is it per month, or is it a subscription yearly?
The app is $6.50 a month to have like a monthly subscription, and then it's $48 for just like an annual subscription. So there's a discount if you get the whole year. So essentially how the app is, it's free for anyone to download. You can go on there, create your own affirmations, write your own, record your own, meditate to your own affirmations. That's all completely free because, we really do believe that we want to empower people to be able to achieve their best selves. So yeah, we've created that for free. We have free affirmations in all the categories, the professionally recorded ones. We have one in every category that's free, so people can listen to that forever. And we have categories like the children's section, the whole thing's free for everyone forever. But if you want the full library to get all of the affirmations and all the categories, then you can upgrade to that subscription.
Got you. So outside of traveling and being with your family, what do you like to do in your spare time?
Honestly, entrepreneurship is really exciting to me. That's fun. My family, we do like to go hiking. We live here in Arizona, and while it's very hot in the summertime, so we go swimming all summer, it's really nice this time of year in the winter to go hiking and to kind of go out into the desert. I never knew this because I lived on the West Coast my whole life, so I'm used to oceans and trees and forests. But it's really beautiful, all the cactus and the wilderness kind of out here in Arizona. So yeah, we do like to go hiking and do that kind of stuff, spending time with family.
So what would be 3 tips that you would give to any entrepreneurs out there or people who are looking to start up their own thing? What would be 3 tips that you would give them before doing so?
Yeah, I would really say, whether your passive income covers your expenses or not, just, really make sure you have a plan for how you're going to achieve your financial goals. And make sure that you can create those, I guess, like affirmations, or you create like those goals, you write them down and write down the steps you need to achieve each of your goals. And I really do think that is the most powerful way you can accomplish something. So I guess that's one, and setting that up. And then I would say that beyond that, really take time every single day, whether you do the 3-6-9 method or not, take time every single day to visualize what it will look like for you to have accomplished those goals that you have. Because visualization is one of the most powerful ways that you can achieve your goals. Essentially, as you visualize or imagine exactly what it looks like to have achieved your goal, your brain is also thinking of every single step that you need to accomplish those things, and it's thinking of ways to fast track things. So visualization is very, very powerful. Showing also yourself that you have faith that you can achieve that faith is incredibly powerful. So yeah, planning, visualizing, and then I guess a third thing I would say that's really, really powerful for achieving your entrepreneurial or any goal is really making sure you take time and allot time to network, and to reach out with people in your space. That's been something that's been amazing for me, reaching out to you and so many other people. It really, you can't do everything on your own. And so as you reach out to other people, think of ways, that it's a win-win, that you can help them, they can help you. But yeah, reach out to other people and they will be able to help you on your journey a lot more than you could do on your own.
Very cool. Thank you so much for taking time to come on the podcast. What was I going to say? I was going to ask if there was a special link to the app, but I guess we'll just put it in the show notes. You'll send me whatever it is.
Yeah, I'll send you. You can, go to selfpause.com/app, but I'll send you a link to that.
Cool. Thank you so much. We wish you much success.
Thank you so much.
All right. Take care.
You too.
All right. Bye.